Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sri Iyer. Joining me today is Major Madhan Kumar. And two things that personifies army. He's a symbol of that. Major has his promise and punctuality. He told me he was running late and he said, okay, shall we push it out by 15 minutes? We did. And here he is joining us. Major Madhan Kumar, Namaskar and welcome to PGurus channel.
Namaskar, sir. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind, and I really tip my hat to you for your dedication. You made a promise and you made sure that you would keep it, even though it was 15 minutes late. It's nothing to do with you. It has to do with the traffic conditions in Chennai. Also, by the way, tomorrow you have a big event coming up, right? Why don't you talk about that first, and then we will go into our today's program.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, sir.
Sorry, I missed you.
Oh, I said tomorrow you have a big event. Maybe you can just make a quick announcement of where it is taking place in Chennai. So
yeah. Yeah, we have one of Tamil channel, Samaniyar TV, is run by an youngster, Nagaraj. So that is celebrating its 4th anniversary tomorrow. So instead of doing a routine meeting, they have decided to have a brainstorming and a think tank kind of a session where we are, and in terms of politics, in terms of the oncoming elections, national security, what is happening in the country's internal front, political alignments, and so on. So it's going to be a very interesting section, and I would be covering the defense and the strategic part, especially post 2014, the Modi era.
Wonderful, sir. Good luck to you and good luck to Nagaraj and Samaniya TV. I have been a guest on that channel. So those of you who understand Tamil, you would have seen me there. And I keep doing that. Now let's take a look at what is happening in the north and eastern parts of Sri Lanka, where conversion is rampant. There's a sustained effort. What is the new government doing? What are the areas of concerns for India, which is trying to help out the teardrop nation? Take it away, Major.
Yeah, but Sri Lanka has been undergoing a rough patch for the past almost 2 years. I think we had a couple of episodes in PGurus in the past. To give you an update, 3 key updates of what is happening. So we had one of a stalwart who was very, very close to LTTE leader Prabhakaran, Mr. Palanedamaran. He went on air 2 weeks before and he disclosed that Prabhakaran is alive. He will be coming back, and this is the right opportunity for him to come out with a solution for the ethnic issues which has been on for quite some years now. And he also had made a point that till Prabhakaran was there was no Chinese presence in north and east of Sri Lanka, and this will in fact help India to contain China in north and east, especially. So he had sought support from the Indian government, and he has addressed the world Tamil diaspora, which is from in Tamil Nadu, in Sri Lanka, and elsewhere in the world, that please support for this cause. And he also called out support from all political parties of Tamil Nadu. So 4 things: Prabhakaran is alive. He is going to come soon and be there for this cause. This message which he is giving is post concern from Prabhakaran and his family. He has not disclosed the location. Second, he speaks about the geopolitical impact of north and east going in Chinese control for India. He seeks a central government support. Third, he addresses the entire Tamil population across the world that you all should support this cause, be unified. And fourth, he addresses seeks support from local Tamil parties, but this hints at a political solution. Now, after that, we had a lot of people saying that this has been a work of RNAW. He's been made a pawn of RNAW. Indian government is deliberately doing it. Prabhakaran is not alive. He was killed. They are just racking up the issue for the sake of politics. BJP wants to gain the foothold in Tamil Nadu, so that's why they have been doing all this. So debates were there, and a couple of videos I posted in my own channel as well on this particular subject. So we need to link whether he is alive or he is no more. That's a different story altogether. But one thing we need to agree to it is, if there are issues within the Tamil diaspora, like people from northern part of Sri Lanka, the Elam Tamils of North Sri Lanka doesn't always agree with people from east. The peak battle of the final war took place in the east. There is a strong differences with the diaspora, Tamil diaspora settled abroad, especially Canada, US, and UK, where this population is sizable, and they have very very strong presence in terms of in the diaspora in these countries. So they do have differences. So there are three major things which is going on. One, we need a separate country and we need a political solution to it. So to achieve the political solution, we need to have Sri Lankan government and those specific generals of the Sri Lankan army prosecuted in the International Court of Justice, where the case is already going on. And another thing says that whatever has happened. Let's retain political rights, at least with limited political rights, and try to coexist with the same country. We are not going to ask for this separate nation. A chunk of the voice goes for this. Third, takes an anti-India stand, a pro-China kind of a stand. And fourth, they just want to coexist with whatever the thing. They don't want to get into such a mess again. They want to peacefully coexist. And we have Tamils who have gone from Tamil Nadu 400, 500 years before, during the British time, to work as laborers in tea estates. So those populations are called Malayagam Tamils. They are, they are sizable, close to 2 million people. They kind of coexist with the Sinhalese majority population there, especially in south of Sri Lanka. This is a very, very complex subject to understand. Now, if all this thing has to unite under one symbol, one identity, it is nothing else than Prabhakar. Whether he is alive, is not alive, that's a different story. If he comes on screen, we will agree. But his killing or his death still has some unanswered questions. We'll come to it later. So if at all there is a political solution to it, all these parties, Tamil national parties in Sri Lanka, diaspora outside Sri Lanka, the politics with India, especially in Tamil Nadu, all this complex, the diversified views on the subject will get nullified under one symbol, that is Prabhakar. And we also need to look at the number of engagements India had in the past 6 to 8 months. Mr. Jaishankar, the External Affairs Minister, has continuously visited that place. And just before the start of the year, he stressed upon the implementation of 13th A Amendment of Sri Lankan Constitution, which gives provincial powers to the Tamil population there. The east and north becomes one state, one becomes one province, and they get all the rights which is on. So Ranil Wickremesinghe, the current president of Sri Lanka, when he came to the northern province to attend a Pongal festival, he assured that that 13A will be implemented. So this is the first time they're coming up with open talk about implementing it. But I spoke to a lot of people there, various people there. The main issue which remains unsolved in implementation of 13 Alpha is the revenue powers has to be with the state. That's how the state will be able to run on its own. The law, state-specific laws, for them, they should be empowered with, like where Indian state is, they can make their own law. So that is a point of contention. Third is the police. This is the main thing. Who will have the control over the police? Now, Sri Lanka, the current dispensation is hell-bent in not giving the police rights to the state, and they want to put a governor. So we can take three things. One, a union territory of India, which is under a
We seem to have momentarily lost Major Madhan, and he'll be coming back. But all this could be thought of as a result of the two trips that Annamalai has taken to Sri Lanka. Remember, we have been talking about this, that the Dravida parties will always fall back on three things whenever things are not going for them. Notwithstanding the by-election result, three things that they always talk about: anti-India, which is like by saying anti-Hindu, anti-Hindi, and so on. Yeah, he's back here. Major Madan, I was just trying to tell that for the Dravida party, they'll always go back to three issues: Sri Lanka, anti-India, and also anti-Hindu. These are the things that'll keep on going back. I wonder how much of all that's happening has to do with the two trips that Annamalai took to Sri Lanka.
Yeah, just coming to it. In
Yeah.
sequentially, they started speaking about 13 Alpha. There is a strong opposition from the Buddhist monk. They have a very strong presence, control over the politics there. So they have objected it. Then Mr. Annamalai IPS, the president, the Tamil Nadu president of BJP, has visited there twice, and the Union Minister of State, Mr. L. Murugan, also have visited once, and couple of other BJP leaders have also gone there. So, in a speech where I took part with that particular subject, where Mr. Annamalai had mentioned that the amount of rut and the complexities which was created in the past 20, 30 years, we are finding it difficult to untie it and unfold it. So, they have been engaging with all the stakeholders there, especially the Tamil national political parties which are there, and they're also engaging with the diaspora to find out a solution. So as far as the Indian government is concerned, the first solution to this entire issue, the ethnic rivalry issue, which has killed millions and millions of people, is the amendment of 13 Alpha and implemented, which was done way back between then Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi and their Prime Minister Jayawardene. So that is still it's an agreement between two nations. It is to be honored by Sri Lanka. Now there is one strong thing that this is being raked up. This never happens because it's a genuine thing. We cannot blame the Sri Lankan Tamils who are like quite annoyed with it. It's never had happened. None of the Indian government in the past had put in that efforts to make it happen. But I see we are seeing some light in the end of the tunnel. This is going to be a reality. How further it will evolve? Sri Lanka, by any standard, it's still a pseudo-democracy. It's not a full democracy. How it will further evolve? The first step has to be taken, which is the 13A, and it's going to shape up. The democracy will shape up over a period of time. Now, these two issues of LTTE Prabhakaran being alive, which has been disclosed by none other than one of his closest aide, is actually the closest aide to Prabhakaran and to the Indian government in both ways. Then Indira Gandhi's government, he was very, very close, ex-Congress person. Very clean and honest. I can say this much. I met him once. He's a very clean and honest person. He just has 3 dhotis and 3 shirts, and he just moves around. And he doesn't have any political ambition as such, or wealth, money, or so and so. So this is somewhere getting close to it. People who made their life by using Prabhakaran's name are very, very jittery in Tamil Nadu. Now, that's another funny story which is happening. People who have been using his legacy, or who claim to be his, who came to be his, the next generation, the legacy part of it, they are getting jittered. They are, venting it out in social media, and most of the parties are silent here because it's not going to give any of political mileage as far as the local, regional politics of TN is concerned. But it's a long way to go. But now coming to specific issues of North and East today, there is an announcement made by Ranil Wickremesinghe 2 days before that he wants to, the government has decided to donate 100 acres of land in North and in East for Muslim settlements. Now, there has been a strong opposition from the Tamil parties and also the Tamil population there that don't try to change our demography. And that is what the people who are engaging with us in this, there is a back channel talk which is going on. this is what precisely they say, that this is a threat not only to Sri Lanka and it also to India also. Any demographic change, especially in the shore, becomes a problem. Now, these settlements has been announced by this thing. So, by any mean, the post-war scenario, pre-war, lot of these lands were taken by the Sri Lankan army, and it was converted into a defense land. It was a military post, which was the land was taken away from the Tamil population there. The war has over. The war got over in 2009. It's almost 14 years now. So those lands would ideally go back to the original owners, which is a very slow process in happening at a very snail's pace. So even now, the place where they have decided to give this 100 acre of land for the Islamic settlement, almost 7,000 families are staying without houses. They are out in open. They are the actual son of soil. Now, this is creating a controversy. This is creating a rift where these people are seeking India's support in ensuring this. I'm sure there is a back channel instruction which has gone from India to, not to get into this demographic changes. But strategically, we have made strong inroads inside Sri Lanka, especially in north and east. Palali Airport, it's been constructed by India. There is a passenger ship, communication between Karaikal, Pondicherry, and to Sri Lanka, which is going to happen. It's again connect north and east. And Bharat Petroleum of India has taken over almost 40% retail outlets. We are going to control the retail outlets of fuel in Sri Lanka. Mega power projects are coming up. Roads, railways, ports, specific to north and east. India is able to get into that. And if we recollect the Chinese ambassadors present in the Debt Island way back, I think some 4-5 months before, we have been able to influence those locations and secure that place, because it's very, very vital for us in terms of our national security. It's always give and take. In return, or the win-win situation would be we secure the Tamil rights, give them the political identity, give them the democratic rights as a citizen to run their place within a country. India is not speaking about a separate country as such. We could see a very, very fast-paced movement in the next coming days, and I would envisage that in down 10 to 12 months of time, or by end of this year, we should somewhere hit close to a very feasible solution to start with.
Thank you so much. And speaking of Delft Island, I don't know how many of you followed that one program that I had done where Annamalai had made a speech saying that the cow's milk from the Delft Island, it's called Nedundivu or Long Island in Tamil, that used to come every day for Abhisheka on the Rameshwaram, Shiva's temple. And the milk for the Abhishekam used to come from this Delft Island. And this has been discontinued and he wanted to restart that. So these are all important cultural connects. And it also, takes you back to hundreds of years ago when things were so, everything was considered part of India. I think Delft Island and Kachativu, all these things were, under the Ramnath king before the British, of course, got that, and they also got Sri Lanka. So everything became one entity, and now we are again trying to find our way back. But it's important to understand that these ties are there for hundreds of years, and it's, I think, a smooth and amicable settlement is what is needed. I think the economic development in north and east is certainly very good. For 40, 50 years, Major Madhan, my lifetime, they have not seen any progress. Yarpanam is completely decimated.
Yeah, and in fact, sir, they, in any social parameters, especially the education, they were at least 5 times ahead of India. The number of schools they had and the number of colleges they had in north and east, even in the 1980s, we couldn't achieve that yardstick even till date. They're a very learned population. They're very, very progressive people, very, very ambitious, and they're to their roots. They follow their roots very, very strongly. And actually, people in Tamil Nadu can't even speak, Tamil with 5% purity of what they do. They're very, very sensitive about, getting to the roots. As you said, there is one thing which you are trying to connect culturally, because the cultural connection is already there. You're trying to revive it. it's a very, very strong land for Shaivite and Malyam. The one who follow Lord Muruga and one who follow the Lord Shiva. So they're very, very staunch, and a lot of historical temples are there where Sri Lanka has been, as a policy, as a state policy in the last 10 years, they've been installing Buddha statue inside the temple. It's trying to, kind of change the originality of it. So they've been recently successful in it. So one news I can break out to our viewers is that one of such a temple, we are in a process to revive it. It's one of the most ancient temple. I think few people should visit the temple. And I can just say this much: Prime Minister would be going there for a Kumbhabhishek. He is going to be there, and revive this. So we had the connect of Kashi and Rameshwaram. The Tamil Nadu Tamil Changam connect was there, and we also need to connect reconnect. I would say not connection is not a right word. To revive that cultural similarity and cultural relationship between Rameshwaram and Sri Lanka, and between Rameshwaram to Kashi and Kashi to Sri Lanka.
Thank you so much, Major Madan, and you bring out an important connect point. Viewers, there are 8 islands in the Hawaii, what is called as Hawaii. There are 8 islands. There's one called a Big Island. One of the smallest islands is also the wettest islands on the earth. It's called Kauai, Kauai. And in Kauai, there is a Shiva monastery. This monastery traces its lineage back to India and Sri Lanka. And to understand this is an unbroken lineage of 2,000 plus years. They are building a beautiful temple there. It's called Dakshinamurti because it is south facing Shiva. I've put some pictures. If you go back 3-4 years, you can see some of the pictures that I've taken from there. There's a beautiful Hanuman statue that they have also built. And the important thing there is that this unbroken lineage of gurus, they have been some in Tamil Nadu, some from Sri Lanka. So the last three, the third one was from Sri Lanka. The latest 2 are actually American-born Caucasians who have actually taken to Shaivism. I've been to the temple, perfect puja, great atmosphere, and it is one of the greenest places on earth that one can think of. A lovely island called Kauai in Hawaii. I just wanted to tell that. So this connect is not just between 2 small countries or 2 countries which are separated by a small distance. It has come all the way across to United States now. Thank you so much, Major Madan. Now let's take a quick look at, unless you have to add something on Sri Lanka, we can go to Pakistan, sir.
Yeah, we can move, sir. We can move.
Yeah. So Pakistan, they have got, I think, 700 million, short-term lending from China. I think 8 to 10% interest rate is what I heard. And they're suddenly feeling like, oh, everything is going to be all right. But it's just like kicking the can down the road. As you walk down the road, you're going to hit the same problem. Now, IMF has also added some more restrictions. Can you talk a little bit about what is happening on that IMF loan?
See, one thing which the IMF has been firm on this is 2 years before, when they went for a bailout with IMF, then Prime Minister Imran Khan was told to increase or I would say cut down the subsidies on power, increase the GST, third, cut down the subsidies on fertilizers, fourth, cut down the subsidies on fuel. 4 major things. Now, what this guy did is, he further subsidized the fuel by 10 rupees. And there was no cut, or there was no...
Well, we seem to have momentarily lost Major Madan again. There are some current fluctuations, and he'll rejoin us in a minute.
Can you see me?
Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
See, this guy went and further reduced the fuel price. And then, there are all prices. It's all bad about Naya Pakistan. We want to create a new Pakistan and so on and so. Nothing happened. Now, this time what they're saying is, you do this first and then come to us. Now, last time it was a commitment made by Pakistan based on which IMF gave a bailout. This time they are saying, put their foot and say, first you do this and then come back. Now, almost excess of 25 rupees, the dollar has gone up. The Pakistani currency is under free fall now. As we speak, it has touched 300 rupee per dollar, and in the black market, it's in the excess of 325 rupees to 330 rupees. That's what one of the journalists from Pakistan told me. Second, power prices have gone up. Today, as we speak, it's 16.5 rupee per unit domestic. And for industry and high tension, it is going to further go up. But textile is one of the major industry with 16.5 Pakistan rupee energy bill. They are not going to compete anywhere in the local market. Forget about the export market. Now the repo rate has been increased by 2%. So now the effect of this will be felt in the next month, starting 1st April, where you will see major loan lenders will face the loan default issue. Nobody is going to pay back. And because of the higher interest rate, nobody is going to put the money back in the banking system, because everybody is scared that their money may not come back. It's clear. So it has gone into a cyclic mess of increasing the rate, thereby increasing the rate, increasing the fuel rate, increase the taxes, and then where will the growth come from? There is absolutely no.
We seem to have suffered a disconnect again, and he'll be joining us very shortly. What the other interesting thing that is still talked about but not officially recognized is the IMF told Pakistan, you just make your currency to float freely. Let it see where it reaches. And if that happens, there'll be a seismic change. Go ahead, Major Madhan. You're making all of us to do this.
Yeah, 1 minute. Yeah, some issue for funny stuff is going on with my Windows update. Just a minute. Yeah, I'm back.
Please go ahead. Yeah.
So they are currently in a mess where now the ruling party, the Junior Sharif, is blaming two things. One, Mr. Imran Khan. Second is India. India is the reason for this. India is the reason for that. India has done this. India has done that. And in one of a TV debate of Pakistan, it's a famous YouTube channel. So these guys were speaking in Urdu, and one of our panelists said India has done some black magic to us. Now this is I don't know. It's really not good, fair enough to laugh at a country at this stage. So this is what is happening. Now, another breaking news which is coming up right now is the defense forces, especially the army, is been left with 2 meals a day, not 3 meals a day. They've been told to have only 2 meals a day. Now, this is really going to pinch them. Now, even if the 700 million Chinese bailout comes in, and even if the IMF bailout comes in, what is going to actually change? IMF bailout comes with, neck-breaking conditions. You need to tax your people. You need to increase your indirect taxes, GST. You need to increase your direct taxes, cut down all subsidies, increase power, increase energy, fuel, possibly everything. Now, to do this, effectively, if I'm going to pay 35 to 40% of my income on taxes, both direct and indirect, if I end up paying 60 with inflation above 20%, now either I have to starve or I really don't know what will the people actually do. You have to further lend. You have to further go and beg people. Give us this much, give us this much. Another thing which learned the Pakistani guy told in a debate. Now, one major income for Pakistani government is the remittance, the foreign remittance. Now, the Pakistanis outside Pakistan, especially in UK, US, and Canada, they are refusing to send their money back into their banks. It's been retained as dollar. And whatever dollar which is left in Pakistan, with all the corrupt rich generals, the bureaucrats, the judges, and all these rich people, that is getting siphoned off via Afghanistan. Taliban is having a ball of a time now. They're making a bounty out of it. So these dollars are good. And the best part is last month, these guys have imported luxury cars almost to a tune of 150 plus cars. I don't know what they're going to do with the Ferraris and Lamborghinis in Pakistan without fuel there. So now they have come into austerity measures. Cut down chai. You started with cut down tea. Having too much of tea is not good. You're importing tea. Then went off to cut down sugar. Now there is a big de-promotion of biryani. This is like biryani and Pakistan goes like hand in glove. For any celebration, it's biryani. Any good or bad, it's biryani. So now they have been told to cut down biryani. Suddenly, a lot of blocks have come in. What are the ill effects of having biryani so frequently? The meat prices have gone up. Mutton is in the excess of 1,200 plus. Chicken, poultry is in the excess of 400 plus. The cost of a simple egg has cost $50. So they are in a complete total mess, and still they have time to find the reasons. As India today, even an official statement I read where they said, don't support, we are going to penalize, we are going to launch criminal offense cases on those people who support PTI, who's promoting an anti-national agenda with the help of. Basically, they say PT Imran's party is promoting India's agenda, which is anti-national, which is anti-Pakistan. So we are going to do this. And one worrisome thing is they have a very young population. There is a sizable amount of infant population. Infant nutrition has become a major issue there. And essential medicines, almost a list of 21. They are left with almost 2 to 3 days of stock. That's the situation of Pakistan as on today.
Well, they call India Ra. It's RAA, not raw. And very funny. The sad part is, Major Madhan, and this is the thing that really shocks me.
And sir, I'll tell you a very funny incident. I'll tell you a very funny incident. A day prior, their foreign minister and interior minister, there's a guy called interior minister, who's a home minister. They were negotiating with IMF. They said, we are out of FATF grey list. We are in white list now. These are the major measures we have taken. We are going behind the 2611 perpetrators. We are helping out India. We punish them, and so the next day in a public event, with a guard of almost 40 odd Pakistani army men and officers, Hafiz Saeed is giving a lecture, anti-India lecture, openly in a forum, and all these guys are clapping. So that video footage was immediately shared with this thing. So they are making a joke out of themselves. And one thing which is going right for us is all the perpetrators who are in the most wanted list of India. A lot of the terrorists are getting killed by unidentified gunmen. So there were one major shot picked up in Nepal. There are 3 major terrorists who have been picked up in various parts of Pakistan. They have been shot dead by unidentified gunmen. Now, they really don't want to talk about it. On a normal day, this would have become a big issue. They would have gone behind Indian fishermen. They would have arrested somebody and they projected them as a spy and so on. So, but they don't have time for all this tamasha. They're quite busy with what to do now.
Well, one problem that Pakistan has, and I see no recovery from this, is that almost 70% of the population today is not even 5th class educated. If you can't impart education when they are young, you are doomed as a civilization. And I don't know where that is going to lead this country into. What did 𝙒𝙗𝙗 have in mind? Even Jinnah was probably more advanced or more modern thinking than this guy. This guy took them back by decades. Very, very sad. So I don't know the solution. I mean, India cannot even think about, saying, okay, you become part of India. It's a gone case. We have to see how best you can repair and, kind of keep it in a, I don't know what to say, semi-vegetative state. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. For God reasons, if such a thing happens, then I'll have to apply for a citizenship in Kailasha. There is no other go.
Wait, I have to tell you something, Major Madan. There is no country called Kailasa. This is a small town called Montclair, Montclair. It is it's not very far from LA, 100 miles or something like that. Otherwise, I would have driven down to take pictures and send it back to you. Read the India Today story. This is just a gimmick. They've got some Let's set the better anyway.
I'll tell you one interesting update. So we have this Afzal Guru sympathizers. No, Afzal Guru was a teacher. He was a
Yes,
scholar.
yes, yes.
So and so on. So we have the former Raj chief, the famous Raj chief Daulat, who went on a Padayatra with Rahul Gandhi. He says, "I'm sure my instinct, I know his third sense and instinct says that Modi government, India should help Pakistan in humanitarian assistance and so, blah 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 blah." And has been trawled brutally by the Twitterites in Twitter elsewhere. So we still have such people in the country, the senior lot. I'm not talking about a normal person who says that let's help them out. We have a former Raj chief who says that we need to help Pakistan humanitarianly, and we need to restart the dialogue. There's nothing wrong in talking with Pakistan and so and so. But our foreign minister has made it very very clear. You made a terror factory. You are paying for it, and we have got no business to deal with you.
Yes, yes, yes. And speaking of Kailasa, when I saw that photograph, I thought Ponniyin Selvan, season 3 or something, or version 3 was being shot or something like that. But anyway, the less said, the better. He's a dharmic guy, but something goes wrong when this messaging gets a little twisted. I wish he had really had an island and he had established something like that. But truth seems to be that he is actually in a small town in California. Thank you so much, Major Madan. Now, if you have a few minutes, let's take some questions, if you don't mind.
Sure, sir. 5 minutes, you can take some questions.
Yes, just 2 or 3 questions only. Major Madan is running a little late. Mr. Lee wants to know, during 2009 war, 4 Tamil dailies, Thanthi, Malar, Mani, Karan, ran op-eds blaming Shivshankar Menon, the then NSA, for goading Manmohan Singh to support Sri Lankan army against LTTE. How true is this? It was a 3+3, right?
Yeah. See, we just can't blame one bureaucrat, for such a powerful decision of a government. Bureaucrats can influence the decisions with the government, but eventually the government has to take a call. We cannot blame one bureaucrat that because of him everything went wrong. It's the leadership, it's the Prime Minister and the Cabinet Committee of Security, the CCS, who's solely responsible for what happened in 2009.
Next question, please. Ritik the Great wants to know, Major Madan, what are the chances of TTP taking control of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa like Taliban in Afghanistan?
See, they're already gaining territory. There's a sizable amount of districts which has already gone into their control. They'll slowly they'll start gaining foothold in KP. But the problem eventually with the tribal community is those who are closer to the towns. They are not in favor of Taliban style leadership. They are not okay with it. But the tribal population who are in the interland or in the remote villages, they are definitely, because they've been used as a cannon fodder since almost for 600 years. They've been supporting Taliban. They are slowly progressing towards it. What you say is right.
Next question, please. Last question. Sanket Rao wants to know, with Pakistan supplying weapons to Ukraine under pressure from USA, wouldn't it risk Russian wrath considering majority of their Chinese fighter planes have Russian engines?
See, every country is supplying weapons to Ukraine. Pakistan, obviously, they're doing it because they need money. They're doing it. They will not be shipping it directly. There are other ways of routing the arms and ammunition to Ukraine. They're doing it, and they're also giving ammunition to Russia. So it's not that serious an affair unless or until they're going to give some game-changing strategic weapons or missiles or aircrafts. These are all normal small arms and ammunitions, hand grenades and explosives that almost every country is supplying both Ukraine and Russia as such.
Thank you so much, Major Madan, and a lot of new information that has come out in light, come to light. And viewers, please do us a favor, like, share, and subscribe to not only my channel but also Major Madan's Tamil channel, which is progressing at superb speed. Major, maybe you can give the name of your channel and do a quick pitch, sir, and then we can call it a wrap.
Definitely, sir. Viewers, you can just YouTube search @ Major Madan Kumar. You'll get to see my page. where it will have a Rajaraja Chola's video pinned in the page. That's my official channel. You can just search his YouTube handle is @Major Madan Kumar.
Thank you so much, Major. And as always, pleasure having you on our channel, sir. And sorry if I kind of pushed you a little bit to drive a little bit faster where everybody else is going at a snail's pace. So thank you so much once again. And viewers, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications, and do consider joining Twitter Spaces. We have a lot of programs. I'm hoping that one of these days I'll have Major Madan Kumar also, because it becomes more interactive. Not one question, one answer. You can have more questions. You can have more. You can have your own individual say on these things. So Major Madan Kumar, I will come ping you maybe in a few days or so. Thank you so much once again, sir. Namaskar, Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Namaskar, Jai Hind.